Okay, so you just got your VCF303, and I've been asked a few times how I did that patch from the VCF Jam. Well, I've written it in the manual as the advanced acid patch, but I figured I'd give you a quick demonstration. So what you need for this is Rene, brains and pressure points, some sort of ADSR. I'm using this one here, and a VCA and maybe an attenuator, and a clock source. I'm using RCD for the clock source, which is being powered by the SCM. Okay, so first thing to do is to take your CV out from the Rene. We use the QCV, that's the quantized CV from the Rene, and we'll plug that into the OSC303. Now we'll take the output of the OSC303. We'll use that lovely square wave, and we take that to the input of the VCF303. I'll put the camera down, maybe I can patch these a little bit quicker. And so we take the output of the VCF303 into a VCA. I'm using good old cheap dual VCA from Doppler, the A1321, which is actually very good for this job. But anyway, signal in there. And then we take, let's see, the signal out of the VCA into your mixer, and then we need to get the clock sorted out. So okay, I'll take the clock division number 1 from the RCD, which is the same as a standard clock, put that into my special A180. This one is actually a buffered DIY, but we're just splitting clock signals. It should be enough just to use unbuffered multiple. And so I'll take the clock out of there into my small mini multiple there. Clock into the Rene X clock. The Rene's probably started now, yes. And the clock again, another multiple of the clock into the brains. And one more multiple of the clock into the ADSR trigger. And let's see, I need another cable. Final multiple we take from the clock again into the EMV trigger. So we've got basically the clock is going to the Rene, it's going to the brains, it's going to the envelope generator, and it's going to the EMV trig on the VCF303. You can see that the envelope is triggering now. And so we need to start sorting out some signal. So we take the output of the ADSR into CV1 on the ADSR, on the VCA. I'll just turn it down for a minute, and we've got some sound going already. Now we need to set up the Rene to do the slides. So we come to the XFun page, and you need to be in snake mode, which we are, and you need to set on the glide. So now the glide on the XFun page is set up. We need to take another cable, and we'll take it from the top row of the pressure points into the X mod on the Rene. And what this will do is it will give us slides when we turn up the top row. If I turn this up now, I'll turn them up. That's how we get the slides. Let me turn it down again. Now to get the accents, we need to hook up the accent output of the VCF303, and we put that into the CV2 on your VCA. Now if you don't have a CV2, instead of putting your VCA, the ADSR straight into your VCA, you can do it via a mixer, and then as long as the mixer is DC coupled, then you can put the accent into that as well and just mix the two together. But in this case, I'm going to be going through a attenuator, because this VCA, depending on the response of your VCA, you may need to boost it or cut it a little bit. So I'll just plug that so that when the accent's up, when I have to trigger the accent first, when the accent, you can adjust the actual level of how much the volume is increased with the attenuator. And finally, we take the second row of the pressure points. Oh, the camera's gone out of focus now. And we put that into the accent trigger. And I put that the wrong way around, but there we go. So if I come now and turn those all off, turn this up again. When I turn stages on here up, we get the familiar accent sound. And of course I can adjust the amount of volume with the attenuator. You can have none or anything. Now you don't need to use you don't need to use the accent output. I mean, it's a good idea if you want to get that traditional volume increase, but even without the accent out, you will still get volume accent sound. But without the extra thing, you won't get the volume increase. And that's essentially the advanced acid patch. I'll just quickly run through it again. You've got your clock signal is going to a multiple, and the multiple is going to trigger an ADSR. It's clocking the Rene, it's clocking the brains, and it's also clocking the envelope generator on the EMV, the VCF303. And you've got the signal coming out, QCV into the OS303, output the OS303 into the VCF303. The accent is being triggered from second row of pressure points. The top row of pressure points is controlling the glide. And to set the glide on the Rene, you come to the XFun page, set it to snake mode, and to glide on. And that's essentially it. I don't think I missed anything the second time around. Well, apart from the accents into the VCA via attenuator, but it's all in the manual anyway. So you can just have a look at that, and you get it a bit more in detail. And another patch from the manual, now that we've got this one set up, was because of the original 303, this follows that. You can hear you can't actually turn the cutoff all the way off. You can open it up pretty much, but you can't close it. So if you want to be able to get a bigger cutoff range, you can use something like a Cvp Offset Generator. That's from Manhattan Analog, that one. So we take into the CVM, we take the output, set the cutoff to maximum on the VCF303, put the level in the middle on the CVP, turn the glide off, and then you can use the offset. Let me turn it up so you can hear it. You can use the offset to actually open the filter more and actually completely close it. I'll turn it up and I'll show you. That's all the way open and all the way closed. So you can essentially bypass the internal limit on that. And while I'm here, one more. You saw this on the original demo. This is the cross modulation. Basically, when you're using the OS303, you take the spare output that you've got, plug that into CV in, get some lovely cross modulation effect.